we're back yet again. Mario Maker.
Hello. Hello.
What up?
We're on
you guys...
Luigi's Hungry Horse. Is that correct?
Yes.
20 people played, 0% finished.
Ooh.
Horse wants to eat grass. Go underground to defeat unsafe pesticides by cereal soup.
I like it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1, go. Whoever finishes it first gets the first clear, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, a guaranteed world record.
Reach the goal after defeating one Monty Mole. That's fair.
To
That's a
reach
fair
the goal
percentage.
after defeating all one Monty Mole.
Oh. You think we gotta find him?
He's probably, I'm going to go ahead and take a guess, underground.
Ooh.
Mm.
Mathas with the deep lore.
Yeah, everything has some deep lore if you try hard enough. Oh, this looks interesting.
Oh. Okay. Oh my God. This isn't. They've lied to you, Daniel. This is not a 5 to 10% clear rate level.
There's, yeah.
That first obstacle is a nightmare.
Woo, that's rough.
I'm up for it because I feel no fear, but
Yeah,
It'd be nice to have a checkpoint, like just right before you do it, or, you know?
alternatively, maybe
run.
don't make you run across the big horse sculpture to get into the pipe at the start of it.
But then how will you know the...
Or, I guess the flip side is, would you want one of the horse legs to be raised?
That would work, yeah, if you could run
Right.
run through the undercarriage.
Then
like
would
how
you know it's a horse?
Its legs are pipes. Just go into its leg. It would be easier.
Or just like put the pipe at the start, and then at the end have you run past the horse.
Yeah, there you go.
It's called game design, sweetheart. Or just dispose of the whole horse part to begin with, you know?
So I have a little brother biological thing to bring up.
Yeah, what?
Should we be talking about this?
I mean, it's meant for a biological discussion, not for like a Minkus discussion.
Okay.
So I guess there was like a big. So when you go on Twitter, like you look at, I go to explore and it'll show me like curated tweets like Detroit Pistons, you know, Call of Duty, whatever, Big Brother.
Burning. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was something, and I always get fed Twitch streamer stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so there was like, I guess a big Twitch.
Oh no! Is this
I'm afraid.
What?
Is this sell your bed?
No. It's not sell your bet, but I do want to talk about that with you guys. This was like a month ago. It's like there's a big, I guess, like Twitch streamer got married or something, and it showed up there, and it showed someone on a horse that was, you could say, excited.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Sacriel's wedding. Yeah,
whatever. But like, and I didn't like.
That was that
I've
picture's
never
fucking
seen
great.
that before. Like, I didn't know that that's how.
You never heard the saying "hung like a horse," Dan?
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like there's like
What are you talking about then?
there's like an envelope, and then there's the extension. I didn't know about the envelope.
Of all people, I would not have expected you to bring this up.
No, I'm asking from a biological standpoint. Like, it's not like.
Oh, you're the biology major, Ryan. Take it away.
I don't know.
It's not consistent with like humans.
I've never seen a horse aroused, to be honest. So
Neither have I.
well, you have now, right?
Right, but unintentionally.
Well, I'm not trying to say it's like not a character judgment. I'm just saying I got no insight.
I just see Dan actively deleting all
Oh
his
my God,
history.
dude! I made it through the very first section of the level.
I've only which part? Just the cannon part? Like the bullet bill part?
Yeah.
Or the whole thing.
I made it through the section with the bullet bills.
I keep dying at the last bullet bill. I bounced just too high.
Yeah, again, Dan, you were lied to.
Yeah, so just to get more context, not about that, is that there's a Google form where people submit their levels and they give it the title and the clear rate. And this person called this what, 5 to 10% clear rate?
There's a little
5 to 10% when nobody's cleared it. So I was just.
I'm gonna see. Previously, I'd operated under the assumption that everybody is a bad actor and they're trying to trick us. What I think happens way more often is people are just like, "Well, I beat it in 10 tries," so probably roughly around a 10% clear rate. You're like, nah, dude.
It's not how it works.
You built the level and practiced it 500 times when you were making it.
Oh god. These bullet bills.
All right, so to progress the conversation.
Do you really want to?
No. I'm saying Ryan talked about sell your bed.
I heard passively about somebody who tweeted about if you're not making enough money, do dumb shit so you can keep streaming.
His central premise was if you don't have enough money to get a good setup to start streaming, you know, you should. I mean, his premise is bad to begin with, in my opinion, but it's made worse. His premise is, you know, if you really want to make your dream of being a streamer happen, but you're like broke right now, sell whatever, grind whatever you have to grind to get there. You know, if you have to sell your bed, if you have to, you know, feed yourself garbage food that will lead to you being like malnourished and sick, then like do it. Like don't let anything get in the way of your dream, which I think is a bad premise to begin with.
100%.
And it is the reason I think it's a bad premise, because people might not be with me on that one, because it's kind of common advice, is whenever that comes from someone that's successful, it makes it seem like the only reason they're successful is because they sacrificed more than everybody else. There's a lot of people out there on Twitch and YouTube who sacrificed a lot and got like nowhere.
Yeah.
I would love to hear how they feel about, you know...
That's probably a much more common story.
Yeah, how they feel about selling their bed. But anyway, so yeah, his premise was, you know, sell your bed, sleep on a $10 air mattress, stop ordering Uber Eats and eat only ramen and Chef Boyardee. And then number 3 was my favorite. Number 3 was don't buy skins. And I was like, you're giving adult financial advice? Number 3 is
right.
like, don't buy skins? But
And then what happens to those people who sold everything and then a year later they're still nowhere?
yeah, well,
Now you're sleeping on a $10 air mattress,
sell your
eating
air
ramen
mattress.
noodles. Yeah, exactly.
But, like-
sleep in a sleeping bag, you idiot.
I don't feel bad at all for dunking on it, because I think it's horrible advice, and he has a lot of like young followers who honestly need more of a reality check than he's apparently willing to give them. Oh god, I made it. But you know, I hate when people give advice that doesn't factor in the role that like luck and timing play. Cause like the reason that this guy's famous, I'm not saying he doesn't have talent, but he happened to be like right place, right time, good at Fortnite when Fortnite became the most popular game ever made. If he was born 5 years later, it would have been a much harder road for him. If he was born 5 years earlier, maybe he wouldn't have the time to dedicate to full-time streaming because he'd have another career and like people that relied on him to make a steady income, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me play devil's advocate
Time, by
here.
the way.
Ooh.
I can't get past walk over thwomps now.
Take the boot with you and
Yeah.
go fast forehead.
But do the thwomps fall fast enough where I can run? Because I tried.
You can't run, you gotta like bait them with a jump, I think.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so devil's advocate here. I think his delivery is poor, the messaging, but I think some of the messages okay, like don't buy dumb stuff.
Yes, I agree with
Lower
that.
your overhead, but also mine would be get a job and then do this in your free time.
Yeah,
Correct.
and that is part of where he lost me as well. When he was like, obviously you can get a job, but it's gonna cut down on your time to make content. And I'm like,
No, you could work a full-time or part-time job and have plenty of time to make content. Just don't watch 100 episodes of Billions and watch 18 other YouTubers. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's enough time in the day.
yeah, I mean, Dan, you're a good example of time management. You got another profession, and then like 2 children. So I'm just like, you know, it's the same. Like sometimes people have talked up my work ethic, and I'm like, I think my work ethic is like, it's pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's also just not that hard.
I'd say you're probably in the top 3% of work ethic.
I don't.
Yeah. If you're not recording, you're streaming. If you're not streaming, you're streaming with Kate. You know, like you're.
I do.
always-
I mean, I
you're
work a
always
lot, but I take time off as well. Like I have like
Oh,
dedicated like a dedicated day off, which a lot of streamers don't have, and you know, particular like YouTubers, I do think a lot of them are just a little lazy, but you know, it's a rude thing to say, but it's also my honest opinion. But streamers, I'm like, They're maybe like lazy in a different way, but they can work like 13-hour days, 6 days a week.
Oh yeah.
And then like on the 7th day, they're like, sorry, I can't stream today. I'm really sick.
There's no checkpoints in this level?
No, it's like a one screen bop. I'll tell you, the dude, you know he has a bad message because he had to post like a 2-minute clarification video where he went, when I said sell your bed, obviously I don't literally mean take your bed and sell it. I mean sell your things. And you're like, okay, well, it's just, you know, he's young. I don't bear much of a grudge, but you know, he's obviously like nice. He's obviously like 18, 19, 20, and he grinded and got famous and thinks that makes him an authority on how to do it. But take it from the people with the, you know, the silver hairs to prove it, you know? There's a huge element of luck, and you know, there's ebbs and flows in the industry. You know, Fortnite's huge now. You can afford a Lamborghini. Maybe it'll be huge in 2022. Maybe people will be like, hey, remember when that game was big? And then maybe in 2025, people will be like, yo, let's go back and start a Fortnite renaissance, you know?
It's like Minecraft.
It's
right
like,
now.
that's exactly what I'm getting at, yeah.
Well, I think the other thing too that helps, at least from my perspective, is that like I'm aligned. Like I feel like my actions and my work maps my goal.
Yeah.
You know where I'm not trying to, you know, be the largest on Twitch. I'm trying to be able to do this and have fun and, you know, run it as a business. But you know, like, I don't know, I feel like you just have to find out what makes you happy. Like maybe that is what you want to do. Maybe you want to stream 1 day a week, but whatever it is, I feel like a lot of people default to being, hey, I want to be the next whatever, you know, ninja, where it's like, maybe you'd be happy being the next yourself, you know?
And sometimes like, you know, if that's what gets you into it, like sometimes that's a fine motivation. As long as you understand, like at some point, like, okay, I can't be ninja because I'm not ninja, I'm me. But a lot of people do get into the streaming and YouTubing because they want to be the next X person.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's your motivation. That's your motivation. Just understand that motivation will only get you so far.
But I think there's a lot of like area between ninja and the bottom where like you can make a good life for yourself if that's your primary goal, or do it full time as long as everything else matches. You know what I mean? Like I think like full time isn't, you know, 7 figures for everyone. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, no,
I think it's becoming more viable to have a realistic cross section somewhere in between where you can make a good living, where you don't have to do that.
This is my last try in this level.
Okay. I mean, I've beaten it twice and I'm getting sick of it.
I got to the conveyor belt part and I jumped and hit the guy.
That's pretty much the end, but
yeah.
That's why I'm gonna give it my one last go.
I'm surprised I MLG'd it once I got through the bullets, but Ryan, you're gonna be, if Mathas beats this, whether he beats it or not, we may have to eat some words on this one.
On the 5 to 10% clear rate?
Yes.
All right, I'm done with this.
Hold on, I'm going for the speed run record.
You're going
again.
for one? All right, then screw it. I'm going again. Then.
I just think like I don't know, like I've done well for myself, and people, they always look for like something to attribute your success to, and they think like I'm insulting myself when I'm like, actually, like luck and timing played like a huge luck and timing played like a huge role in my ability to get big, you know, when I got big. Like basically I was born at a time when I was an adult, when almost nobody was doing this. As a result, I got in when it was like not that saturated. So there's like step 1, and then step 2 is like, you know, I played Isaac when it came out because I like Super Meat Boy. Nobody expected that game to blow up, and now we're here like 8 years later, and people are like, you know, I still love Isaac. You know, I hitched my wagon to a horse that went way further than expected. And if, you know, maybe instead of playing Isaac that day, I play like, you know, Trine or something like that. That one little change, you know, could have had like a huge, like an order of magnitude on my ability to be successful. Then again,
I would push back. I mean, I agree to an extent, but
Dan will always push back.
Yeah, Cole's like, there's inherent talent, and you've had at bats, right? So it wasn't like, hey, my first YouTube video was Isaac. Let me ask you, how many videos did you make before your first Isaac video?
It's probably like a few hundred at least.
Yeah, so it's not it's not like you fell into like a golden pile of coins.
No,
you
I mean, I agree,
bats.
but at the same time, I think like anyone that is successful in this industry has had an element of luck and timing.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. Like, you know, a lot of people have gotten to, you know, a certain size and then squandered it for a variety of different reasons. You know, work ethic, or, you know, can't control what comes out of their own mouth. But you know, yeah, I attribute a lot of it to luck. There's like right place, right time, and then probably right personality as well. But like,
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I just want to have like lunch with this kid, and he can pay for it because he's got triple my Twitter
Apparently
followers.
super rich.
And I'm like, I just want to be like, you recognize, right, that because you were like 17 or 18 when Fortnite Battle Royale came out, and you were awesome at it, and you grinded. That's how you made it happen. Like if you were 25 and that opportunity hadn't struck, you know, when it did, you might have been working at a bank with like maybe a kid, maybe a wife. You can't just be like, honey, I'm going to quit my job at the bank to try to grind Fortnite full time. You know, like where you're at, that place in time is very important. Like I was able to grind hard on YouTube basically because of when I was born. You know, if I'd been born like 2 years earlier, I would have been too busy in college. If I'd been born 2 years later, you know, maybe I would have been too set into like a different career path. But it caught me, you know, like in my gap year. So I was able to be like, sure, you know, the timing's right. Let me give this a year while I'm still flexible and see if it works out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's an element of that for all of our stories in some way or another. I mean, the only reason I was able to dive into YouTube so hard is because, like, I had stuff going on in my life that had caused me to have to leave college for a bit, and it opened up a whole lot of time. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to do YouTube videos because I enjoy watching it and I can do it. And I did it for like a year and a half before I had my first quote-unquote successful video.
Zomboid.
Yep, Zomboid. Zomboid was my ticket.
But
That game is still my ticket. Like that game is, it's like your Isaac to a much smaller scale, obviously. But for my channel, like that's kind of what I've hitched my wagon to, and the game still gets updated, and it's about to have its biggest update, and you know I'm not gonna stop playing now because that's just part of it.
But here's my thing. I agree. I think there's a percentage.
Do we want to start Geesling Valley?
I'm good.
I got it up.
Okay, we got 3,
right,
2, 1. Good luck.
I agree. I think there's a percentage of it that's luck or timing. I prefer to call it timing. But I also think you guys are both persistent enough where you would have had more at bats. Where, say, for example, Ryan, maybe it wasn't Isaac, but I still think you'd probably, and we never know because there's no simulation, but you'd probably be pretty close to still being full-time on a large scale if you stuck with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible, but you know, even like if Isaac hadn't come out when it did, you know, maybe you know, it comes out like 6 months later, I might have signed on to like teach for a second year in Korea instead of like having it be in kind of like a suitable gap for myself. And then, you know, maybe I decide like, hey, you know, I'm too stressed out from work. It's not worth, you know, spending all this time being stressed out on the internet as well. Like, but who knows is the other thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. There's no simulation.
Yeah, can't figure it out.
But, you know, I don't know. What it comes down to me is I think that it's like the spirit of the advice is bad, in my opinion. I don't think that most people who don't make it on Twitch don't make it due to lack of effort. I think it's hard. Like, you know, there's so many people trying to do it, for one. And, you know, like, again, back when I started, I got lucky I had a YouTube following that I could pull over and just be like, hey, can you, like, watch my stream? And then not that many people had discovered streaming at that point. Again, like, the story of my career is, like, persistence plus being like in the first 10% of people that got on a platform, basically.
But you also had the insight to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
Where, and you know, I don't want to call it anything out indirectly, but like I'll see some people on Twitch and be like, hey, 900, it's my 900th straight day of streaming.
Yeah.
And it's like, I saw that person at 300 and nothing has changed. You know what I mean?
So at some point, you're saying.
Where it's like, for you, you're like, hey, what if you had the insight to go to Twitch or change something up? You know what I mean? It's not like the only thing on your channel is an Isaac.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's, if I could give myself a lot of credit for one thing, it is that, you know, years ago, I recognized that there's going to be a problem. Like one day, Isaac's not going to be there and we don't know what day that'll be. So I worked hard to diversify. Whereas I think what has happened, particularly on Twitch, is a lot of streamers are like, you know, I got big for like League. And then, you know, League has ebbs and flows. Maybe they got like 25,000 concurrent viewers 3 years ago, and now they're getting like 1,000. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know, I tried to recognize that.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, I tried to recognize that was coming, you know, downstream and do something about it. And I'm honestly like grateful, but also thankful because I'm like now people are like, please stop playing Isaac, and I'm like no. So which is the way I want it to be, I think, because people are desperate for other stuff. But anyway, I don't know. You know, I mean, I do think to echo what Dan was saying early, I think a lot of people do just waste like more time than they realize.
Oh, for sure.
But dude, this Giesling Valley's tough.
I mean,
You guys get to checkpoint?
Yeah.
One checkpoint,
Okay.
yeah. Like, your whole
Yeah, go
life should not be about, you know, grinding to get big on YouTube and Twitch. But I do think that, you know, I would rather just ask you guys, like, if you took an audit, if you took out just work-related stuff, how much free time do you have on, like, the average Monday to Friday?
I don't think I have any when I go to bed.
That doesn't seem... You don't work 16 hours a day. I don't believe
No, he's
that.
saying, so you're basically saying if you don't work. Wait, rephrase the question. I think I got
Because
confused.
here's the thing, you know, like, all-time streaming obviously counts, and time recording obviously counts. Time setting videos counts, you know, if you're talking to collaborators about working and stuff like that, you're just setting up, like, a project to be done. But, like, I don't count...
Or fixing their OBS because their capture doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly, for like an hour.
I mean, I would count that. I wouldn't count, you know, like, for me, I wouldn't count going to the gym. That's stuff... I take that out of my free time to go to the gym. That's obvious. It's something that needs to be done, but it's not occupational.
So your question is, how much free time do we have?
Yeah, how much time do you,
day?
like, how much time do you waste every day?
Oh.
Waste every day.
I probably waste, like, an hour a day. Well, actually, that's not true, because I don't consider the time in the gym wasted. So I probably have, like
You're saying, like, mindless time.
well, I just mean, I guess, time that's, like, yours to do with what you will.
That's my last 2 hours of every night.
That's what I have, like,
guess.
probably 2 to 3 hours, and I spend a lot of that just, like, I don't know, like, doing the dishes and cleaning the house, doing laundry, stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah, I think like I'll quote unquote be done working around like 11, and then from 12 to 1, like 11 to 1 is my time of just doing either stuff that I need to get done or just having dinner and just taking a breath if I was like, you know, if the day was particularly long.
Yeah, I'd say I'm probably around an hour where there's like, and that's, to me, the hour is like, that's what gets me. Cause like, oh man, like I just burned this hour.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, I could have done 2 Mario videos in that time and gotten 5 days ahead, you know?
Yeah, I've had that attitude before.
Yeah.
Now, though, after, like, recording and streaming all day, like, my voice just gives out. Like, I just start to get, like, hoarse and crackly, and I'm like, even if I wanted to record more, I probably shouldn't. You know, I need that recovery time. But I also spend a lot of time shouting at my colleagues.
But what I mean, one of the huge things that helped me is like, you talk about like scheduled off time.
Yeah.
Like I know there's like X amount of hours in the day. I'm like, hey, from here to here, like my phone's off and I'm with the family and I'm like truly there. I'm not like, you know, checking Reddit or whatever, which that's really helped because then you're focused on that time. And then when that time's over, you're like, okay, now it's time to change gears versus like not really having a schedule. To me, it's like, yo.
No, I
you get through
I agree
Blue
with you
Snake Alley?
100%. Well, you just gotta jump on the snake. Unfortunately, forehead. Yeah, but like, no, I think that's important. That's like I work a lot, but I do see some YouTubers who are like, I work like an 80-hour work week, and I'm like, no, you don't. That's bad time management. If you put like a video or 2 up a day, even if it's like heavily edited, I'm like, well, it depends on how heavily edited. Oh, he was right there.
How far after the blue snake is it?
It's like right after.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little obstacle course, but I liked it.
It's a good level. You do need to have ball players.
It's true.
You guys may want to go for the world record because I probably have like 6 more attempts.
Okay.
Can I download it?
Mathas, let me ask you this because I feel like you took a specific path because with highly edited YouTube stuff and you're
I took a specific path because I killed my YouTube channel 3 years ago.
no, but I'm saying I was gonna ask you what's your take on Twitch and how it fits into your lack of a better term portfolio?
For me specifically, Twitch
Yeah.
is not a priority, but that's only because I have other priorities that are more important right now.
Yeah.
Like the podcast, like that kind of thing. I mean, when I stream for Twitch, I try to stream. I typically try to stream a couple times a week if I can.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a back end priority, but that's just because my career spun off in a different direction.
Yeah.
And who knows? I mean, I still do Twitch. I still have a presence. And if I need to pivot, I can hard pivot. But I kind of keep it just a little bit on the outskirts of my core priorities.
Yeah, so that's my question is like where like in terms of your it's like a ancillary thing for you.
Yeah, correct.
And was that a conscious decision or that was just hey I don't
Well,
have
it was a
time
conscious
to do
decision.
everything?
It was a conscious decision because Chilluminati ended up doing well and it demanded more of my time.
Got it.
And I can't give everything 100% because I
Yeah.
don't have that kind of
Yeah.
I'm so dumb. I had the world run.
Okay. Because streaming for you, Dan, has kind of become your main priority, right?
Yeah, I mean it's like my thing is that it's been really important for the growth of the stream and also kind of like the Ryan Gary prophecy where it's like, hey, you want to keep multiple things going. I don't ever want to be beholden to one platform.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Because it'll change. Like it'll like something in the next 5 years I think will change. And you just I don't know. I just when Twitch like because Twitch like if I go hours spent to I guess effectiveness or financial, it's not even close Twitch to YouTube, but the time I spend on both are not like the percentage breakdown you would think. Like it's like 40-60.
Yeah,
you know.
no, I believe that.
Yeah.
But it's not because of finances. It's because I just feel like importance on doing that. You know.
You just gotta kind of feel the temperature of the water and
Yeah.
just move with it. That's I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Like think about everybody's eggs were all in the YouTube basket not even 5 years ago, and then Adpocalypse happened, and everybody fucking like set their buildings on fire and ran around screaming. And that's just
Yeah, but
YouTube
nobody
never fully
changed
recovered.
their content at all. They just spend all day tweeting about how much YouTube screwed up.
it's true. People don't adapt.
But I think one thing we haven't talked about, and it's not really our business, but it's still I don't think Ryan, you don't like talking about stuff like the whole mixer thing. Like I know we
It
didn't
doesn't
talk
bother
about
me,
it.
no.
Okay, but like, what do you do? What was your guys' take on that?
Well, I see the Mixer Twitch stuff as like the exact same as Steam Epic. So in order to not be a hypocrite, I'm like, dude, if they're gonna pay for streamers to be exclusive, how else do you want a streaming platform to compete? I guess in.
Do you not? Does everybody in this world, and I'm not talking about YouTube, but just the audience, have like the memory of a 5-year-old?
Whoa.
We had this same conversation when YouTube jumped into streaming and they bought all the major esports championship tournaments for that year to stream exclusively on the YouTube gaming streaming platform. And people were throwing up their arms like, how come YouTube is spending money and stealing? It was like the Call of Duty one. League of Legends one was going to be was exclusively on the YouTube streaming platform. I think it was like 2015 probably.
And I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like they threw money at it in that time, and then what happened to YouTube gaming? They stopped and it flopped and it crashed because YouTube didn't kind of keep up with it. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Mixer, but that's just what companies do.
Yeah,
They
like
throw
I
money
just
at
really
things.
I don't really care. Like
Yeah.
if my opinion on it is like, it's business. Good for Ninja, good for Mixer. I don't know, dude, like so many streamers, in my opinion, they feel like they need to comment on like every piece of news that happens, and I'm like, you don't. Like, Ninja leaving for Mixer, the only thing you could argue is that like in years to come, it might have like a knock-on effect, but I don't believe.
You don't
that
think
at all.
Mixer handed him a hunk of cash?
No, I
and
mean
was
I
like,
believe
"I'm
that they
set"?
do, but like that's none of my business. Like.
What's a knock-on effect? What does
You
that
know,
mean?
like maybe, Ninja's responsible for 30% of the viewers on Twitch. So for him leaving for Mixer, it might start like it might be the catalyst to start, like a mass exodus or something like that. But, I mean, I don't know. I certainly don't think that's been the case at all. I don't care about like the business side of this industry essentially at all.
Why is that?
Well, I just stay in my lane and like, you know, I'm not in the business to make moves. I'm in the business to entertain and, you know, provide for myself and my family as well. But
well, yeah, I'm with you. I don't give a shit that he went to Mixer. I really don't. Like, who cares?
like I saw, this is tangential, but this game is a really arty game. And this week they announced Epic exclusivity. It's called Manifold Garden. And the dev, you know, was doing what I consider like a really mature thing. You know, there was a thread about his game going Epic exclusive on Steam, or sorry, r/Steam. So, you know, the comments were like pretty nasty, but he was responding to every single one of them in like a mature fashion and just getting crapped on for it. But like I saw one person say like, all I can say is, you know, I would rather die than live with compromised values, but it appears that we're not the same type of person. So, like, that's what I think of, like, comments like that when I think of, like, you know, I would never abandon Twitch for Mixer. I would never leave Mixer for Twitch. But I'm like,
I can see.
You sound like that dude.
He gets sun when he only goes to PAX.
It's just so needlessly insulting, Mathas.
No, it's a pretend man that I don't know what it actually looks like. I'm not really all that.
That is how I feel whenever.
If your sentence is, I'd rather die when it comes to fucking the Epic Store, dude. If you're insulted by that, you got some.
I will say, just to, you know, not get raked over the coals myself, there were people in the comments that were like, hey, I understand why you would do this, because you're making a lot of money by going to Epic that wouldn't be guaranteed if you were out on Steam. But I have philosophical differences with the store, so I won't be paying attention to it.
See, that's a fair way to present it, because that's a mature way to represent how you feel. And that's cool. Like, when I did Rebel Galaxy on the channel for a few episodes, people were freaking out because there's Epic Games exclusive. I'm like, I just want to show you guys like a cool freaking game. Like, relax.
Yeah.
But people get so up in arms about it, and they're like, they're talking about how it's like it's like malware or something along those lines. So I had to like Google where they were getting this, and there's a bunch of articles like, no, Epic Games is not malware, no matter what people tell you, because it's not. It's just lacking a lot of what Steam has, and it may not be the super secure comparatively.
But like even this, I just don't care.
Exactly. Like, I'm like, I don't care.
I know it sounds rude, but I'm just like, you know. So, okay, don't... I talked about this on Twitter about, like, the Pokemon Sword and Shield controversy. I'm like, I can get why you would be mad. What I don't understand, and I feel...
Wait, real quick, what's the controversy?
The controversy is they're not putting every Pokemon into the game or giving you a way to transfer every Pokemon into the game. And then they said it was because they had to make high-quality animations for all the Pokemon, but instead they're reusing animations from earlier games. So you can understand why, if you're a lifelong fan of Pokemon with a Pikachu avatar on Twitter and a name like, you know, Pokemon Trainer Timmy or something like that, you would be like, Game Freak is betraying me. I get that. What I don't get is like the controversy started like 4 months ago. And you're still dedicating your social media presence and a lot of your time, like of the one life that you get on planet Earth, to being big mad about this decision online. Like why not just be like, you know, they screwed us on this one. I'm gonna not talk about or play Pokemon, and I'm gonna move on to something more positive. Or alternatively, hey, you know, I'll give them a chance and I'll reconvene and see how I feel when it's out. But instead, it's like an addiction to anger online.
Yeah, that's a really great way to put it. It really does feel like an addiction to anger.
Well, do something with that anger and hit the like button on each of our videos, and then you'll feel better. Maybe. But this was a good one, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
See ya.